this is the list. So the first level is talking. We've exchanged numbers, do things on a friendship level, and maybe even had sex. Now y'all talking. Testing the waters to see if it's a growing interest. And there is a level of leniency here, because I don't understand how y'all talking and maybe doing some things on a friendship level, but y'all not went all the way by having sex. So the next one is dating. We are spending time together doing various activities, movies, bowling, concerts, dinner, as friends. They're that friend that y'all know y'all like to throw that friend term around when it's convenient. But as friends, right?
Like throwing that friend thing around.
That's not true.
Oh,
With the
yeah,
mutual interest in each other, but we still allowed to talk to other people. Dating exclusively. We are dating, however, we have cut off all other people we're interested in to focus on us getting to know each other better. And finally, relationship. We have made a mutual agreement to become a couple. It's just you and me, point blank period. And then it goes on to say, some of y'all need this because your understanding about these things be crossed up, that's incorrect English, but be crossed up and twisted up like crazy. So I want to talk about these levels of dating.
Okay.
So I want to know what your thoughts are on the talking piece.
I mean, for me, I just feel like no matter where somebody's at, you just got to be upfront and you got to be honest about what your thoughts are, where you're at with it, you know, in your mind, how it's looking, so that therefore you can let that person know what's going on.
So how many people you talking to at one time, though?
What you mean? Me personally, right?
No.
What?
No, I'm saying when you are when you are going through this first stage of talking, right? When you get to know someone, right? And y'all talking, and y'all may have sex, and y'all doing these other little things as friends. How many people are you having these same activities transpire with?
I think the masses feel like a majority gonna say that it could be, they can have their list of people that they're talking to and be open to that.
That's cool?
It depends on the person.
And y'all doing everything that I just read?
It depends on the person and who that's cool.
But is that okay?
It depends on the person.
I'm asking Josh Powell.
Hey man.
Can you open this? I want to get your, this is about yours and my perspective. So what's your perspective? Let me see that. On that level.
My perspective is, if you tell somebody that y'all talking and y'all cool, and y'all ain't made nothing really official, therefore neither person in the situation can get upset if the other person is entertaining or doing things with other people.
You said they could get upset?
Couldn't.
They couldn't get upset, even if y'all having sex.
No.
So, you know, sex changes the dynamic of the relationship, right?
It does. In most cases, not all.
In most cases, not
all. In most
all.
cases, not all.
Okay, so then tell me about this. So then what's the difference between talking and dating? Because I know that there's dating, but then there's dating exclusively. And so this one says y'all doing these same old activities as friends.
I feel like when people say they talking and they saying like they cool, like it's just they trying to figure out what's going on. It ain't really got there yet. It's just surface level. Like they feeling each other, but they just don't know.
And they having sex?
But things happen.
No, I didn't say. I said, are they having sex?
It can be possible.
And that's okay?
Depending on the parties involved.
So what's the amount of time that transpires between the level of talking and the level of dating? How much time is that? Because see, it's too much leniency for, in my opinion, because I'm biased as a woman. There's too much leniency for the man. He gets to go out on all these little activities, and he's having sex, and there's no level of commitment, and he can be having sex with more than one person. And you're saying that that's okay?
I'm saying that no matter if it's the man or the woman, that they have to be clear in communicating where they're at with it. Then they have to set boundaries.
And what are the boundaries?
And it depends. Everybody's different. It depends on who we talking. Like, I'm gonna speak in general.
Well, I'm asking about you.
You don't set boundaries. Like, I just feel like if I'm trying to do something with somebody, then I'm gonna talk to her and let her know where I'm at. If I'm ready, then I'm ready. If I'm not, then I'm not. If I feel like, listen, man, I'm cool with some folks, just letting you know that, then I'm gonna say that. But either way, it's just about being upfront and honest with the person and letting them know what you feel.
But what determines your readiness?
What determines your readiness?
Yes.
To go like to the next level, is that what you're saying? Or
It's a couple levels in this.
okay.
So we talking dating. We talk.
So
well, first
I don't really. I'm not gonna go by that level of how they broke it down on here.
Okay.
Because I feel like that ain't.
That's not realistic.
Some people, you know, they can just be as friends and then go from there. Some people could just be talking and be alright and catch up every now and then, and that's where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, other people, like, it's just all these different levels. Some people,
But
they
you
feeling
close
each
to each
other
other.
and they start in a relation. Yeah, because it's a breakdown, because people need to, in my opinion, pick one. And if that's where you at, then say that. And then if you feel like it's going somewhere different, then you say that.
Okay.
Yeah, but you just gotta know where you at with it.
But do you see the level of leniency in there?
It's leniency in all of this, even when you get to the point of relationships, as far as the world is concerned.
So.
Disclaimers, good people. Disclaimers.
So let me ask you this. So how long? So I'm just gonna go by the steps that I know, because I don't really necessarily agree with those steps, because you got talking and then you got dating. Like, I feel like that's the same thing. I feel like, first of all, for me, for Chanel, if we having sex, you my man. Period. You're not having sex with nobody else. We don't have no understanding that you're kicking it with other people. We ain't doing that. So how much time? So I can dig the talking and, you know, then the dating. And then, like you say, things happen. I'm not so rigid that I don't believe things happen, right? But how much time transpires between the talking stage? Because I think talking is the same thing as dating, but not dating exclusively. And then you have the dating exclusively, which in my head is a relationship. But they got a whole lot of steps in that.
I think we need to simplify this thing.
Okay, so how do we simplify it?
So, in my opinion, good people, I feel like be clear where you're at from the jump. And if you feel like you're feeling somebody but you're not ready and you ain't there yet, make sure you let them know that. Now, if it gets to a point where sexual activity is involved, then you need to step back and you need to figure out where you're at again.
See, that's
Wait a
all.
minute. No.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Because still there are people out there who can have fun and enjoy and not want anything serious. There are those people who are out there.
But if y'all have that understanding up front, because see, I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of women will tell you men that they cool with y'all just kicking it and then y'all having sex, but she's only doing that because she thinks that's what you want to hear. She's trying to be.
That's the problem.
She's trying to be cool about it.
Don't do that.
No, I don't do it. I'm just saying that that's what women do.
What I'm saying is, any you queens.
So women don't do it. He's saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Don't play with that, because you're playing with your feelings and your emotions. So I definitely wouldn't do that.
But I mean, because sometimes they feel like, well, oh, he's not gonna talk to me if I let him know. I've been told this personally. You shouldn't tell people that you want to be in a relationship, because it wards people off. Like when they know you want to be in a relationship, then it's like, you know, you lessen your opportunities. But me,
then don't do it.
No, I need more than don't do it, Josh.
Hey, listen, we gotta be real clear and we gotta simplify this whole thing. Ladies, if you in a situation and you feeling like you're not there yet, but you liking somebody, then you need to express that and you need to let them know.
Okay.
Therefore, there's nobody feeling upset about any kind of way. The man knows where you at, and vice versa. The man needs to say where he's at. So if he's on some like, I'm just trying to have fun and kick it, don't waste nobody's time and selling the dreams and talking that bullshit and saying, basically, like you up here telling a woman what she want to hear. That's the thing. People need to stop telling each other what they want to hear, telling them what they need to hear.
Okay.
That's a whole difference in this whole situation.
So let me ask you this: how much time is between the moment, like, and I know every situation is different, but how much time should you allow between the talking stage and the dating stage?
Me personally, man, if I feel like I'm digging you, then I need to come out and say that, and I need to stop with everything and just make it happen, make it be known.
Just like that?
Yeah.
But how much time?
It depends, man. Some people, I'm real open when it comes to that. Some people, man, can connect with somebody off the gate and just have a feel and they know it. And I feel like a lot of times women be knowing. I feel like when they see a king or whatever, they break it down on how they feeling like they want that person to be in their life. Point blank period.
But I can say, from my own personal experience, typically a woman, she knows in the first 2 to 3 conversations.
You did.
But 9 times out of 10, typically that man is not there. At least he might be digging her, but he ain't ready to do all what you just said. He still won't play. So how do you manage that process? Like, how do you, because I guess you would label that process as the talking stage.
I just feel like no matter how it turns out, people need to respect how the other person feels and where they're at with it. Because when you don't, that's how things end up getting, the lines end up getting crossed, people end up getting hurt, and things end up getting confused. So therefore, being open, being honest, being transparent on where you're at in your process and how you're going with your process, cool. And on the flip side, for the women who, okay, women say that they're ready and they feel like men aren't, then therefore, if you feel that this man is worth it, then make sure that you are patient in his process, communicate.
But is he
with
dating
him.
other people in the process?
I feel like if y'all both feel like it's something there, then don't play with that and go for it. That's in my opinion, because it's either we doing or we not.
How much time would have passed before you decided
You keep
something
focusing
there?
on time.
'Cause I
Some
won't
people,
know.
man, some people can be ready within the first couple weeks. Some people it might take a year. Because we not even talking about the fact that people coming out of relationships or different situations, so they might need some time to heal, which that is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things that are involved, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to this time thing, because people, if you're going from situation to situation, you need time to heal. You got to let that baggage go. You got to let all that stuff go. Make sure that you're ready and in a space to be open to give yourself to somebody else.
So when you going through that healing process, are you dating?
I don't think you should.
So
If
then,
you're going through the healing process, I think you need to take your time.
are you talking?
I mean, some people are able to do that.
They're able to do.
They're able to do that, right? But talking could be very minuscule. It doesn't have to be anything major.
What you mean major?
It doesn't have to be anything major, like people talking, having conversation. Hey, how are you? Would you like to catch up? You know, just little stuff here and there throughout the week. Just
But how do you
something
manage
small.
that though? Because if you like somebody, I don't care how hurt you are. And sometimes that can be a part of the healing process. So how do you manage that?
If you like somebody, but you're still going through your thing, make sure that you're open and honest with that person, so therefore that they know what it is that they're dealing with, and they know where you're coming from and where you at.
See, that's the thing. See, you end up becoming a rebound when you do that. Because when they get healed up, then they gonna move on from you. I'm just on.
A rebound.
Yeah, y'all. I'm just all over the place with my thoughts. But let me ask you this. So, what was I gonna say? I was gonna ask you. I forgot. Anyway, yeah, I think it's a rebound. Like, say if you're going through a process. Oh, I know what I was gonna ask you. So,
I feel like
This
let me talk about this
Okay.
rebound thing.
okay.
In my opinion, I feel like if a person is getting over another person and not having to use a situation or the person to help them get over another person, I don't feel that that's a rebound. I feel that if a person says that they're ready and they have no feelings, no nothing towards the other person, that means that they're in a space at least to be open. But if you're in a situation and you just got out of a relationship, but you're using somebody else that fun, the sex or whatever, in order to help you get past and you claiming you happy and blah, like, nah, that's the rebound. That ain't what's up.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I'm getting ready to shift gears. So why is it that, like, so like you meet a man and everything is exciting and, you know, you guys got the chemistry and the whole butterfly thing and, you know, y'all talking on the phone for hours and hours at a time, and then the moment, and I ain't talking about me, so let's be clear. The moment that the two are intimate, all of a sudden things become common and stagnant. It could be like, it's like, okay, now I've accomplished this thing. Now all of a sudden, you know, the calls don't come as frequently. Can you just explain that for the ladies, like what's going on there? It went from everything being exciting, having amazing chemistry, and
you know,
then
a lot of times women will test a man to see where he is after there's been sex involved. And sometimes you already put this wall up, or you've already made these assumptions, and if the man doesn't pass the test, then it looks a certain way. So for example, you had sex on Friday, Saturday comes. A woman will sit up here, not pick up her phone, like say she was regularly like, hey, how you doing, everything good. She'll purposely not pick up the phone, not text, not do nothing.
what women do that?
But that's what I'm saying. Why does it have to be a test?
I said, what women do that? I'm not familiar with women who do that. Y'all know women who do that? I don't know no women that do that.
I feel like people test each other all the time when it comes to certain situations, and people just be going through all of that, man.
What the comments saying? So, let's start at the top. Good gracious. Woo! Good gracious, Josh. You got a lot of support over here.
Hey, mama.
She on yo. She said, when you get, oh, Lord. Well, okay. You don't need to wave at the people, because then I can't sift through the comments. Oh, Lord. Josh. Look, they need to get into they're asking you when y'all gonna play basketball. Narcissistic men. I want to hear more about that. Be exclusive. I want to hear. Let's talk about the narcissistic men. Yeah, I want to talk about that. Let's see. I want to hear about this Liz. Oh, I like her.
What list?
The list she was talking about. The list that I read off. The list. She said, "Ooh, that Liz. I know, girl." She said that messed her up. Yeah, they be getting over on us. I just think that men have too much control, like, especially in the beginning of the relationship, like, pertaining to that list. Like, they get to explore, test drive, and frankly, a woman is not like a car. You know, you need to decide whether this is something that you want to do before you ever get behind the wheel. You follow me?
I did.
You did? In the voice of Josh Powell? She said facts. Do you? Oh, Lord. They off subject. Sex complicates things. It absolutely does. Sex does complicate things. What do you think about that? You think sex complicates
I agree.
things? Why you feel like that?
I agree. So do lies and miscommunication.
Lies and miscommunication. Like, well, let's talk about this.
Come on, man.
What's
All
miscommunication?
that stuff complicate things.
Feelings determine readiness. Feelings will get you in trouble. I ain't lying to you.
But it still will determine the readiness.
Have to go based on energy. Now I'm with you on that. I match people's energy. That's it. That's what I do. I have learned to do that. Match the person's energy and you should be okay. Absolutely. And listen to what is being expressed and not try to add what you think you can change because you want something different. See, the thing about that is sometimes men give mixed signals, you know?
You don't think women don't either?
No.
You already came into the thing talking about how women don't want to sit up there and give off something because they don't want to scare somebody away. When at the end of the day, if you keep it a buck and that ain't for you, then cool. That should make life easier. Move on. Then bring in who's supposed to come.
But how many? Well, you don't know, but I'm saying I can honestly say out of however many years, I won't be, people don't need to know that I've been legal, able to date. I have not met one man who was ready to be in a relationship, like, off the jump. Like, it's usually I'm just kicking it, or I'm just trying to see, or they be on that type stuff.
If that's what they on, you need to extra stage left.
But that's
if that ain't what you
everybody.
want,
Well,
then
no,
that's
I ain't
cool.
never on that.
But then too, here's
But
another
most
thing.
men are like that, though.
Here's another thing.
I don't
because
know
I'm-
no men who come
listen,
ready like that.
Here's
Ready.
another thing, and I'm a big believer in the universe. A lot of people, right, say that they want something, but they not willing to plant the seeds or put themselves in a position in order to get it.
How do you do that? Let's talk about that.
What you mean?
How do you-
Everything has to align. It's the same thing that people do with jobs or other situations. Like, you gotta prepare yourself. You gotta plant them seeds. You gotta water it. You
Well, how
gotta
do you
believe that.
Can
You
you
gotta
make
put
that
that out there.
practical?
Can you make it practical?
Yeah, like make it live so these people know what to do when we get off this live, to put themselves in position for what they say they want.
So a lot of people, right, I'll put it to you this way. A lot of people going into 2019, everybody's putting vision boards together. Why?
Because they want to see something come to pass. They want to see something manifest. Right.
Right.
Okay, so how does that prepare them though? I want to know practically, how do you prepare for a relationship?
I don't think for one, when it comes to certain things, you can read all the books you want, you can get all the advice you want, but nothing is going to prepare you like experience, because everybody's different.
I agree.
Even me being a father of 4, like, every one of my kids is different. And just because I had one kid don't mean I'm gonna know what the hell I'm doing when I have number 2. You know what I'm saying? Everything is different. I just know for myself, putting myself in the right space, getting myself mentally prepared, making sure that I'm healed, making sure that I'm in a space to have conversation, be open to dialogue, be open to liking a person. All of that good stuff will get me in the right mind frame and mindset in order for me to at least be open to dating.
So for the men, because you're rare, you do understand it, right?
It's
No,
a lot
I
of
don't
good
know nobody else
brothers
like you.
It's a lot of good brothers out here.
I don't know one person like Josh, not one. So this is for the men. Having sex with a man doesn't make him your boyfriend. For me,
Facts.
it do. For
Okay,
me,
Bex.
it do.
Okay, Bex. Live your best.
For me,
Live
it
your
do.
best one, Bex.
It needs to be communicated up front. What needs to be communicated up front? What you mean?
What it is.
What?
I'm telling you, where you at, what it is, all that stuff.
I think she is saying she's not that. What? She said, I think she's saying she's not taking that step without him being that. I'm not taking that step if it's a situation where he just like, I'm trying to see. Because I ain't trying to see. Because typically, for me personally, I know, like, unless it's a one-off, because, you know, everybody got things that they don't share up front. You know, typically you share, you know, you get to know each other over time and you learn things about the other person. So aside from that one-off where you find out, like, he a serial killer or something like that, like, I usually know. Unless it's like a deal breaker that didn't, you know, surface.
And that's good.
Yeah, so this person, they was debating the fact about, she was saying that just because you have sex with someone, he's not your boyfriend. And I'm saying that I'm not taking a step with someone unless we on the same page. Even if he's not my boyfriend, we need to be moving in that direction.
Right, but that's what I'm saying to you, because you asked me a question before, like, how do you know where you at and this, that, and the other?
Yeah.
And my thing is, everybody's different. Some people are in a space where they just want to have fun and enjoy life, and they hope to meet somebody who is on that same page.
So you're gonna keep testing it out until you...
Listen, I ain't a part of that. All I know is some people be out here on that. You're not finna do that to me.
No, I'm just saying, no, I'm asking a question. This is about being transparent, right?
Shout out to the Australian crew, you dig?
Sir,
Yeah.
you heard what I said.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't answer the question. See, this is where we become transparent, right?
All right, ask me again. I'm ready.
I said, I forgot what I said.
Uh-oh. On to the next then.
No, I'm saying, so do you just test it out until you, like, you don't just You said some people are okay with having fun and doing this and that until they decide that they want to, take it to the next level. And I'm saying, I don't know what I said. What was the question to you? Are you that way?
Nah, I think over time, being at 35, you got to look for something that's deeper and on another level other than just the physical. Like, for myself,
See, now he getting deep, y'all.
I get really, I'm more intrigued by mental and emotional stimulation and spiritual stimulation than I am when it comes to the physical. I feel like the mental aspect of it, the anticipation, the talking, everything that goes into preparing to share bodies is the most important part of it. That's what makes it
better speak,
on
boy.
another level.
Yes, sir.
Because other than that, it's just physical, and eventually that's going to be what it's going to be. A body's just going to be a body.
Okay, so I like your approach. I really do. So how do you maintain discipline during that process of preparation, sir? Now we get into the meat.
Jesus better take the wheel.
Like, how do you do it? I want to know. Like,
I think we got a commercial break coming up.
we don't have no commercial break. We want to know the real, right?
Okay, Bex, would you say a lot of times we break our own hearts looking for more than a man can give us?
What she said? What's that? She said what now? She said. You're right. You're right. But see, this is the thing. That's why you got to be sure up front. Like, if you get your heart broken enough, then you learn. You learn the hard. You're gonna learn the easy way. You're gonna learn the hard way. You keep repeating the same patterns. You got to do something different. You got to, at some point, you got to grow up. You got to make some changes. You got to do different.
But why? Let me ask you this, Bex. Why would it be the man who is in charge of breaking your heart
that's typically,
and not your expectation?
Because men aren't as emotional as women. 9 times out of 10, if a woman makes a decision to lay down with you, there's some level of emotional attachment already that she feels comfortable enough to do that. Whereas a man, he's just having fun. There's
not all the time.
I didn't say all the time.
Right.
I said most of the time. Most of the time with the men.
But here's something else too, though, because we live in a day and age where men, by society standard, aren't able to show emotion or share that side. So therefore, they'll continue to stick with that stigma of we're just having fun and we're not emotional and all that.
Then why is it so easy for him to walk away?
I mean, now that's a fact of it that we are built different, but that still doesn't mean that we can't have the emotional side.
But why is it that the moment that a woman and a man have sex, then the dynamic changes and it's usually on the part of the man?
I don't necessarily agree with that in every case.
But why the dynamics do change?
They do change, but I just don't feel that that's what it is in every case. Because here's the other thing too. If you feel like there's a connection and y'all feeling each other, then have the conversation and see where the other person is at.
So how do you determine if y'all have a connection and y'all have chemistry and y'all are feeling each other? Like, how do you determine that? I mean, you know how you feel, but you don't know how the other person feels. And a lot of times...
That's why communication is key.
But then when
to be able to discuss that, you got to be able to get that off, because therefore, listen, ladies and gentlemen,
man, I hope you listening.
Kings and queens, like, if there is any type of confusion, if there is any type of doubt or second guessing or anything, I feel like there needs to be conversation to clear that thing up, point blank period.
But see, a lot of times men don't want to talk about that. Or you consider needy, or this or that, or you too aggressive, or you moving too fast, or whatever. I'm telling you, It's rare that you find somebody.
And I understand that, and that's fair. It is hard to have communication. I know that we have our part in that, but women have their part in that as well, because I feel like if it's something that's really important to you, if it's matters of the heart, then you need to pull that person to the side and let them know, like, listen, maybe not now, maybe not next week, but I would like to have a serious conversation with you, because there are some things on my mind that I need to express, and I need to understand where we're at and where to go from there.
That's good.
The other part of it is, too, is that the woman can take control of the situation, because if you feel like somebody bullshitting with you or playing with your heart or doing some other stuff, walk away.
Now, that's easier said than done, and especially if you've already had sex.
Okay, understood. But if you know who you are and what you bring to the table, walk away.
It's still easier said than done.
And listen, if you know your value, if you believe in yourself and you feel like you're all the way up there with it, walk away.
Now, women do tend to tolerate more before they get to the point where they walk away. I wish it were that simple, because if it were that simple, we would have a lot less broken hearts, a lot less craziness, you know, the stuff
but that's the importance of boundaries. If we can set boundaries, if we can express boundaries or express feelings or express whatever it is, and then put your foot to that, then I think that'll change up how people treat people. Not just in relationships, but friendships, just across the board, because it's a different type of respect that you have with that person.
I agree. Let's look at the comments. We can't set a certain amount of time and assume that's how it should work.
Facts. I agree.
Everybody.
I agree. Because everybody's time frame is different.
But I mean, it can't be like a whole year before you decide that y'all in a committed relationship and not seeing nobody else either.
Says who? That's your standard. Somebody else might be different, but if that's your standard, whoever you're dealing with needs to respect it.
Who doing that? Y'all don't. PSA, if somebody make you wait 6 months to a year before y'all can say y'all exclusive in a committed relationship where they not, you gotta call. Who is that? Sorry. We live. Where they not seeing nobody, that's a no. It's a red flag. But I know. You can't take a photo while we live.
I haven't dated in
Let me
2
grab the
years.
phone.
Uh-oh.
Let me see what.
Shayna baby said she ain't dated in 2 years.
Girl, I feel you.
Salute. Wait till you ready. Wait till you ready, queen.
No, she haven't dated in 2 years because she hasn't met a good quality man.
But how do we know that? You making that assumption?
Because I know that's why she shared it. It's
How
context.
do we know that?
Context.
How do you
Because
know that?
Don't
Don't
talk
make that assumption.
We talk about context. Well then, Sammy Baby 84, clarify why you just shared that you haven't dated in 2 years so we can figure this out. Time alone is needed to regroup. I agree.
Thanks, Bex.
Get under another to get over. It's a recipe for disaster. I agree.
Thanks, Bex.
Queen, you need to see the good in people. I do see the good in people. I don't see the bullshit in people too. People be, look.
Because you will put that baggage on the other person and possibly hurt them in your hurt. Facts.
I agree.
Just be open and be honest. Facts. Rebound, Riverdale lady.
What is going on
Hey,
this
bro,
thing?
you crazy.
Oh,
It only makes it worse. Okay, freeze. Then he goes. Oh my goodness. Wait. There we go. Many times there's too much hype built up for sex, and when it happens, it's boring after. Well, Bex, listen, if it's boring and you feeling that person, you better figure out a way to teach. Get it to how you want to get it, girl.
What?
DM on deck. No hate. Not grown ups.
Oh, they agreeing with you over here. Do he get to ask you questions?
I always
Oh, you hear?
test.
He said, "Do you get to ask me questions?"
Who?
Corey
Do I get
said,
to-
"Do you ask?" Because I'm
Nah,
asking.
man. I don't want no smoke. Not right now. We're gonna save some of that.
She said, "I hear that, Karen." She said, "We assume that we're the rebound. I ain't never no rebound chick. Damn that." What? Oh, he's such a hater.
Hey, Stunner, what's up, man?
She not feeling you if she do that. She not feeling you. I mean, women
have
get to
more
test
shit
drive.
going
Women
on
get to
for
test drive.
sex
I
than
don't be
just
knowing what y'all be
added
going through.
You said what?
Women get to test drive too.
I told
You
you.
know, so I'm giving you the third degree. I ain't
one-
giving him the third degree.
The women with the shits.
She said it's a lot of BS out of here. Exactly. Like, men, y'all get to like.
What up, Ivy? Huh? If sex is good, your relationship is good. Not always.
I don't agree with that.
I have discovered in my own relationship that transparent honesty is way
Hey.
more fun than trying to play games. You just need to be real and honest and upfront. Absolutely. Us ladies can also be the problem. Okay.
How so?
Shut.
Elaborate on that. I have so much to say
About
about this.
planting the seed shit. Okay, well speak on it, Bex. What you got? Child, you just spoke there. Uh-oh. Commercial break. Go ahead and talk to the folks.
Oh my God, this is not okay. So this is an impromptu.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I gotta step away for a second.
He gotta step away. So let me come over here with y'all. So we decided to do an impromptu show tonight just to kind of test it out and see how everything, you know, works and everything. So, and it's nice out. Ooh, this thing make my eye red. And it's hot, y'all. So we just having conversation just to kind of get a feel for how everything is going. What else? Yeah. So what y'all think about it so far? Instagram, we sorry y'all. The first live feed kind of messed up, so we had to start it over. So we taking a commercial break. Be back in a few. The people wait. Let me see. Ma, oh, okay, I keep talking. So anyway, What y'all think about the show so far? For those of you who've seen it. Instagram, you guys just coming on, but hey Vex, you over here with us. So typically, you loving it? So typically I do live events here in Atlanta, and it's called Comministry. That's the platform where we invite influential people, celebrities, things like that, to have conversation about relationships. And so Josh and I, we decided to do the relationship podcast where we could do it on a more frequent basis. Like, he's gonna do the live event, but we're gonna do the podcast, each week, just to kind of give you guys a taste of what we do in person. And so tonight we were doing a test run on the show just to get a feel of how, conversations would go, how we would engage each other. We have these conversations offline all the time. So we decided to do a test run tonight to kind of get a feel of how it would go, the exchange, the conversation, the length, the engagement. And you guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you for participating. Thank you for watching. We're going to do this on a weekly basis. The premiere is next Wednesday at 9 p.m. That's the official premiere, next Wednesday at 9 p.m. We're also going to have a special guest, Stefan Speaks. And for those of you who kind of, into this relationship stuff, you probably know him. He's a relationship personality. He posts quotes, videos. He's very well known in the relationship realm. So he's going to be our special guest next week. I'm excited about that. So I'm waiting for Josh to get off of the phone so that we can continue this conversation. He took a commercial break. He got to know that this is not going to happen during a real,
hey man, scoot over.
A real show.
This my baby calling me. She want me to say prayers, man. Y'all give me a second, man. Daddy do this.
Oh, see, you see, that's how they do. That's so wrong. You so wrong for that. I don't even believe that. So, yeah, so I want to come a little closer. So if y'all, while he's over there, if y'all have any questions for me, anything that you want to ask me, then I'll be more than willing to, share a little bit about myself, especially for those of you who come over from Josh page, like Bex. I'm open to answering questions. So Oniva, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. She says, these women nowadays are suckers. Some of y'all acting like y'all just gotta have someone to. Oniva, you going hard, girl. Someone just so people can say you have someone, and it's sad that y'all be miserable as hell. I see it every day. For example, Facebook. People, what? Hold on. People I went to school with just want to show that they are married. This female, I'm not saying her name, took her husband to Mexico and video it. He was showing his butt. It was a disaster, and she videoed the truth where we seen the truth. Where we seen the truth. Yeah, you're right. I absolutely agree. People do just want to be with someone just to say that they have someone. I mean, I empathize with people like that, though. You never know what people's experiences are that got them to this point. A lot of times people experience a tremendous about. I swear, people text me, I got to put my do not disturb on. So that's one thing that I learned on this one. When we do the official show, to put do not disturb. But sometimes people experience a tremendous amount of rejection, right? And so it looked like they, may come across as being thirsty or desperate, but it's just based on their experiences. So I tend to be a little bit more empathetic just because I understand the dynamic. You don't know what their family background is. You don't know what their experiences are. So let's not be so hard. Aniva, she went hard. Okay. Let's see. Bex, I just came out of some BS. And I think it's important to address how we need to hold ourselves accountable for failed relationships. I agree. Now, I agree. We do have to hold ourselves accountable. One of the things, I agree with Josh in that as long as you have open communication, then, a lot of times we have open communication, but then we still have the misunderstanding. And most of the time, men are upfront. You have some men who are manipulative and lie, and they won't tell the truth, but For the most part, men are upfront, but then we try to make it more than what it really is. So I agree with you on that. She said, sometimes we move too fast and expect way too much too soon. Now, Bex, I can agree with you to a certain degree, because a lot of times when you meet someone, everybody's excited. You got the chemistry, you got the butterflies going, you know, you excited because you met someone new, you know, and especially if you've had failed relationships in the past. And so for a temporary amount of time, that person's, you know, he wants to be in your space, he wants to spend time with you, you know, and then a lot of times when you guys are spending that time, things progress and then you end up having sex. But then it's like, once you have the sex, it's like, you know, then either the relationship can become stagnant, you know, or you know, they disappear or they ghost you, you know. But then there are women who do decide that they want, mama, you messing me up. I'm trying to tell these people something, you talking to me. And then a lot of times we do, you know, we try to push the issue or make it move faster than what it really is. That's why it's so important to get to know a person before you take it to the next level, before you decide to, you know, have sex with someone. Make sure you get to know that person, get to know, you know, what their wants are, what their needs are. Get to know that person. Am I you crazy? The signs be there, but we ignore them looking for love. I agree with you. I agree with you to a certain extent. I agree. We do ignore them sometimes. We do. Joshua Powell. That's the longest commercial break I ever seen in my life. We do ignore them. I mean, sometimes, you know, we like the person and, you know, we hope that they like us too, but they have to be accountable too for their actions too, Bex, because as a man, if you know you're not into a woman, if you're not feeling her like that, then don't lead her on. Don't make her think that it's more than what it really is. If you know that you don't want nothing, or you just, you know, you want to have fun, then give her all the information so that she can make a more informed decision. Don't just lead her on and make her think that it's more. You know how men do sometimes. They make you think it's more and then you find out later that it's not that. So I would just, to the men, like, be upfront, be honest, communicate. And if you know you don't want to be in a relationship, then let it be known and let them make that decision as to whether they want to continue seeing you. Because the worst thing you can do is mislead a woman and then you have sex with her, and then the next thing you know, you can't understand why she's acting out or why she's reactionary or why she's slicing your tires, because you wasn't upfront either. You wasn't accountable. Bex say, I vow to never include sex until we both want the same thing. I agree. Sometimes things happen though. Sometimes we too hard on ourselves, y'all. Sometimes we be in a situation and we think we have chemistry and all that be going on, and we make that step, you know, and then a person change. But sometimes people can pretend and give you what you want and you thinking y'all on the same page, and the next thing you know, he like, I never wanted that, or she's like, I never wanted that. So that's why it's important to be upfront, be honest. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this podcast, because I wanted you guys to hear the male and female perspective from people who are intentional. You know, I'm intentional and Josh, he's intentional. So I felt like it would be good to be able to hear his perspective. Yeah. She said, yeah, they definitely do that. We gotta say our parting words at least. Can't let people just... Y'all got a tan on my face from the fire. What is you doing? What are you doing? Beck's been keeping me company. She said, well, I think it's important to take the time necessary to get to know the man, become his best friend, and wait on sex until the bond is formed. I agree with you, Bex, but how long do you think that typically lasts? How long do you think it takes for you to form a bond and decide that it's, you know, that it's time to take it to the next level? Take physical intimacy completely off the table and build in other forms. I absolutely agree. Unfortunately, some of us, we learn later in life to do that. It's very beneficial, but sometimes it takes some people longer than others. I just did that. We dated for 3 months. That's good. Hey, Deidre. Sir. I can't. I guess it's business. Let's see. You trying not to be a bitch. But luckily we never had sex. Wow. We on a commercial break. Sir. Josh. He's back. So Beck's been keeping me company on this live over here.
What up, Bex?
I like Bex. Huh?
I need to shut up.
But yeah, because you're not ended it. You ended it from the phone call. But this was impromptu. But so
Shut it.
yeah, sure. So I had another so now that you're back, we can continue talking because I had stopped. My mama was like, "Are you kidding me? Keep talking, baby." I mean, my partner walked off on me.
That's the dope thing about a queen. She's supposed to hold it down.
I did hold it down, but I still need you. So listen to this. She said these women nowadays are suckers. Some of y'all acting like y'all just gotta have someone just so people can say you have had someone. And it's sad that y'all be miserable as hell. I see it every day, for example, Facebook. People I went to school with just want to show that they are married. This female, I'm not saying her name, took her husband to Mexico and videoed it. He was showing his butt. It was a disaster, and she videoed the truth where we sing the truth.
I agree. There's a lot of that capping going on these days.
Is that what you call it, capping?
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
What does capping mean?
I totally agree with that. That's real. Who said that?
Aniva.
Salute, Queen. That's real.
Aniva Cook said it.
Yeah, that's real.
What does capping mean?
Lies, bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
that's real.
Okay, so we're going to wrap this up?
We can.
Okay.
I hope y'all had fun. I know I did. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to, spark this thing up and then work on my millie. So one time.
So you ain't have no questions?
I do.
What's your questions? Somebody asked, so you might as well give just 2 and then we'll be done.
No, man, because my question's going to open up a whole can.
Just ask one.
Since that queen brought it up.
That was a dude?
That was a dude that brought my bad, King. Apologies, because I can't see from all the way back here on who's saying what, but apologies.
Okay.
But that's real, though. I just want to know, from that standpoint, why do the women be so pressed to look like they have someone, or that they're in a relationship, or that they're super happy, or that they're whatever it is?
Why do they look so pressed?
Yeah.
To do it? Pressed how? Like, what you mean, on social media? Or what you mean in general?
Social media or just in general?
I explained to her because her question is kind of like what you just said, like women are suckers, blah, 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 blah. But I'm empathetic because you never know what a person's experiences are.
I ain't gonna say they suckers.
I don't think they suckers. You never know what a person's experiences are.
That's real.
People experience a tremendous amount of rejection, so sometimes they just want to be affirmed. They just want to, know that they love, They just want to know that somebody actually want, like, for instance, I went through this and I'll be very transparent. Like, my mother and father, they love me. You hear me? They love me, but that wasn't enough.
What you mean it wasn't enough?
Meaning that it's like when you experience, see, I ain't want to get into it by myself, but I'll share this piece. Like, when you experience rejection, after a while you feel like, nobody wants to date you or nobody wants to be with you. And it can take a toll on you emotionally, mentally, because it's like, wow, what's wrong with me? You begin to internalize it, and you can know your value, but nowadays people, the dating climate has changed so dramatically. Nowadays men treat you like your option. You heard me say that the other day.
Is that we do, or is it allowed? And let me go back to something,
both.
Because if a person knows who they are or where they are, then they shouldn't be strayed because of somebody that doesn't appreciate them.
And you can know who you are, but knowing who you are ain't keeping you warm at night. You can know your value and know what you bring to the table, but it ain't keeping you warm at night.
Why it ain't?
Because it ain't.
Why
And
it
I
ain't?
mean, you can you can pretend like, you know, you cool. I'm cool. I'm gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be single until I meet the right man. You know, I'm cool. I know my value, but that's a lie.
Well,
That's a lie.
let me paint this picture, because a lot of people are getting into these
And you should
toxic,
be able to acknowledge when you're lonely. Don't ever try to hide.
That's
that.
real too, but a lot of people that are getting into these relationships and they're ending up toxic. They're ending up extremely bad. They're ending up broken. They're ending up pain, hurt, angered, all of this stuff. And I feel like when a person has been drugged through the mud, you don't necessarily want to feel that again. So people should be cognizant and say, listen, man, I know I deserve more. Because you hear people say that all the time. Even when people are in situations that are okay, but it's not necessarily going anywhere, they're just right here. Like, eventually that make people feel away as well. Like, nobody wants to settle. I hear people say that all the time.
But some people do settle because it's
Absolutely.
difficult. It's difficult to meet people that's on the same page.
But that's what I'm saying, to go to that point. I made a vow to myself, man, at the end of the day, I'd rather be by myself than settle. Not happening ever again. I'm not going through that again.
But you made a vow because you had an experience, right? Some people haven't experienced what you've experienced.
Yeah, but that's the purpose of reading and learning and having conversation and doing those things. And I'm not saying that you're still not going to go through your experiences, but what I will say is, don't settle. Still like, don't settle. Because we have it nowadays where the millennials or the boomers or whoever we want to call it, when it comes to work, when it comes to jobs, everybody wants to be a boss and an owner because they don't want to settle. They want to wake up when they want to wake up, grind how they want to grind without somebody telling them how and what to do. So if you can do that for the check, why you can't do that for your heart?
You can do that for your heart, but after a while, like,
a lot of butts.
No, because you have to acknowledge where you are. Like, it's only so far you can take that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for myself. I'm not gonna settle. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just being real because I say things. One thing about me, anybody who know me, I say what the next person won't say. And a lot of people don't want to acknowledge that they lonely or they want relationship because people judge them and call them thirsty and call them desperate.
Well, let me tell you the worst type of alone. Being with somebody, being in a situation that you ain't got no damn business being in. But that's the worst type of alone ever. Waking up to somebody empty. Kissing somebody empty. Conversation empty. That's the worst alone. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna be by my damn self.
You know what? And that's what you bring to the platform because that's an experience that you may have experienced. Now, for me,
taking it off.
I know, because I wanted to get to see your face. So, like, for me, like, I hear what you're saying, but for somebody like me who's never been married, and I get you, and I'm learning, like, I don't want to settle, but at the same time. And then nowadays, you don't know how much work to put in and when to walk away. Like, how do you decipher unless it's just draining you and then you walk
about
away?
To give up the show?
Okay, let's just close it then.
Better close it, because, boy, if I get to really, really opening, man, it's going to give it all up. Okay,
we wait. So, y'all, this is what relationship status is going to be about. Because, y'all, you see we going... we traveling down the path slowly but surely, so we gonna go ahead and cut it right now. But we just wanted to give y'all like a glimpse of what relationship status is gonna be about. As you can see, we're transparent. We talk about real life experiences. We're not gonna talk about no statistical data or what we think, but we're gonna talk about what is, what was, and what is to come. So we appreciate y'all. We appreciate your support. Check us out next Wednesday, January 16th, 9 p.m. right here on Facebook Live, Instagram Live. Y'all, show your support and go over to Relationship Status both on Facebook and Instagram. Follow us on Facebook, like us on Instagram. And also, we're on Twitter as Josh and Chanel RS. So you could go on there and ask your questions even after this is over. If you want to get a quick response, go to Twitter, ask your questions, and we'll respond. Peace, y'all. We appreciate y'all. You gonna end that? Yay. That's so cool and live. Shy. Got a little viewership.